All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Shadow of the Colossus. My name is Ark,
My name is RandomNinja.
and today we are taking on the third Colossi, the sword-wielding Gaius. And
As you saw there, Ark still doesn't know how to get on a horse.
shh, we don't talk about that.
It's only been 2 Colossi.
Yeah, playing back the footage, both of us had quite a bit of trouble on this one.
One of us had significantly more trouble than the other.
Shh, we don't talk about that. We already said that I'm not very good at this.
By a factor of, what, almost 3 times as much trouble?
No. It was only twice. I did it in
you
12.
Sure?
You got it in like 7.
Oh, you did it in 12. Okay, alright, so only twice as much trouble. That's good. I mean, it feels like you are getting worse, though. Just based off of that. Since I think Valus, we were pretty close, a minute or two.
Yeah.
Quadratus, about the same, pretty close. And then suddenly you're twice as bad as I am. So I think we're hitting that point where we're going to start seeing more of the differences between someone who's done this stuff before and someone who's never done this stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Like, this guy gave me a lot of trouble. And in this one, we actually had to implement a new, I guess, category for our scores, which is falls, because these are the first ones where we fall off the Colossus.
Yeah, Quadratus, we all managed to stay on. You had a few close calls. Valus is piss easy. I don't think you could fall off him if you tried. Whereas this guy is a little trickier. One, because he's a prick.
Yeah.
And 2, because he is quite wobbly. He's a different sort of body shape. And the places you have to go to stab him are a lot smaller. There's not as many resting points.
Yeah, I think he's probably one of the skinnier of the Colossi.
One of the skinnier of the humanoid ones, yeah.
Yeah.
There are some pretty tiny Colossi, and the next one as well is actually quite small.
Now, this is like my first complaint about this game. Swimming in this game is absolutely abysmal.
Slow as shit. There's no way to go faster. Which is fine. There's no way to go faster. There's no sprint button.
Right.
But boy, does he swim like a fucking idiot.
And isn't, like, just by reading and Aggro's like, I want to come too! Isn't one of the Colossi, water-based? I think it's Hydrus, right?
Yes, and that's why you swim like this, so you can have your sword out.
Oh.
But even if you put your sword away, you still swim like a fucking idiot.
See, I was actually trying to figure out how to put my sword away, because I was trying to see if it would make me swim faster, because I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's really not quick. It's really not fun either. It is very, very slow, very plodding.
Yeah, it is.
I appreciate that you sort of did the same thing as me and you spun your camera around just to take in this area.
Right.
This environment. It's gorgeous. And this was gorgeous on PlayStation 2. This was gorgeous on PlayStation 3, but
and
I said it before.
Here's
Every
the
area is so lovingly remastered.
Here's the first challenge, is getting across.
Without falling. You did it on your first try, which is
I
pretty
did.
rare. That's one of those jumps. Like, he sort of sticks to it. It does sort of suck him in a bit, but it's still not an easy jump to make if you're not taking it at full sprint.
You know what? I should have counted that as a fall for you. Because
yeah. Although, not within the boss fight.
No, which is why I didn't count it.
You also take the long way around.
I did.
By going up to this dirt path, not thinking you could climb.
Nope. Because I actually tried climbing right here on this these vines, and that actually causes me to lose some time because it starts the cutscene before I'm even up top.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It still takes me like 12 minutes to down him.
It's 5 seconds out of 12 minutes, even if we didn't count it. Him waking up at this point is just so impressive, so staggering, the sense of scale it gives you, the sun just behind the clouds.
Right? And I would say, out of the Colossi that we fought so far, he has the best looking fur.
I don't know if I agree with that. It's good looking, but at the same time, it's very much... it's done in patches, and it's really noticeable on this guy, where it's just, okay, let's stick a bunch of fur here.
Right. And here you start to see me, like, I figure out that you have to get up on his sword to climb on him, and then I meet the first roadblock.
Yeah. Which, honestly, had you been a little better positioned, you probably would have been able to do the fling method, which just involves being on the tip of his sword, and as he brings it up, you sort of crouch at just the right time, and you'll go flying above his bracer. And there's actually a trophy for doing it that way.
Oh, is there a trophy for that?
There is.
Like,
yeah.
I looked up some videos afterwards, and I've seen people do it, but I didn't even realize that there was a trophy for it.
Yeah. There is a trophy associated for doing it. I kind of wanted to go back and do it again just to see if I could, because in my video, I do have to try it, simply because he's a piece of shit and refuses to step back from the center.
Right? I eventually do figure out, because that's the only difference in the entire area, is that, like, metal piece. I'm like, maybe I have to make him hit it, because that's like a general boss fight mechanic kind of thing. Yeah. And you see in the bottom corner, instead of numbers, RandomNinja actually found a little chibi head of him, so we're using that as our fall counter.
So, Quadratus and Gaius were actually in Little Big Planet 3 as costumes. So that's the head of the Gaius costume from Little Big Planet 3.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Doesn't quite capture his spooky essence, though.
See, I just barely missed it.
Quickly, yeah.
It's because I moved too early, and I noticed from your footage, what I should have done was I should have ran backwards instead of sideways.
Yep. Yeah, if you run backwards, you tend not to get knocked over, and gives you a bit more time.
And this one, I was really trying to make him hit it, which I did. And you like how Dorman tells me after it breaks?
Yeah, as you break it, hey idiot, make him hit the ground. Which is terrible subtitling, because if he hits the ground, you just get to climb it.
Right. And now we start my climb. And here, what I was doing was I was actually using the broken part of his bracer as like a stepping point, because I didn't even think to try. I think I had tried going up the rest of his arm, but it just wasn't working for me.
And you crawled right into his little... What is that part of the arm called?
Like his armpit?
No, because the armpit's at the shoulder. Anyway, the elbow pit, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
You were stuck in there for a good long while.
Yeah. And then that's my third fall. Now I just gotta wait for him to swing his stupid sword again.
No, you do this wrong, actually, because you don't want him to hit the plate more than once.
I actually get lucky and I'm able to grab on again at the edge of his sword to climb back up.
Okay, yeah. That's not bad.
Because what I was thinking was that maybe I had to make him hit it multiple times to get off more of his armor.
Yeah, so this is one of the really the introduction. Wow, that was impressive.
Like he swung down just enough that I could grab on again.
It's really cinematic because you did basically a flip and then he caught you with his sword.
Yeah.
It's like watching a Transformers movie.
Yeah, it was great. That was like that was also like with the Valis fight where he swings me in front of his eye.
Yeah. Yeah, you're getting very cinematic shots. This game is Gaius specifically is one of the first mechanics bosses where it's like, okay, how do I climb him? How do I get to his weak spots? Where are his weak spots?
Right?
Because you didn't shine your sword on him at the beginning. So
no,
you
I
have
didn't.
No idea where his weak spots are.
Like I think at first I tried to find it on his back, because I go up to his shoulders first, and what happened in your footage, which I didn't do, was that you actually went after his head first, which I didn't realize that you could do. I thought you would have had to get rid of the smaller ones first, and then his head one would appear. So, which is why I didn't go for his head sigil first.
So that is, interestingly, your thinking there is actually a mechanic later on. They do introduce minor sigils on Colossi. So you're not wrong. Minor sigils do come into play. But for Gaius in particular, they're both major sigils, which means they both take off a large percentage of his health and can be tackled in any particular order.
Right. And you see me here trying to find it, and it's like, oh, it's down there, and I'm like, crap. Now, can you leap from his arm to his stomach portion right there?
So, yes, kind of. You have to go along the other arm, but it's a lot easier to do what you just did there and fall down.
Right. And here I was trying to find it, like, on his back. And I'm like, oh, great, now I gotta go around him.
Oh, there it is.
Whoop, there it is.
What's nice about the stomach weak spot is that it's very hard to get shaken off of it.
Right.
So you get a lot of quick stabs, which is why I went for it second.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I can only imagine, like, being in this game, how he would feel just climbing these giant things, and just the tenacity that you would have to be able to do this. Not to mention arm strength.
Yeah, it's you know, it's crazy, and one of the things is your grip strength is essentially representative of Wander getting stronger.
Right.
So as you kill the Colossi, your grip strength naturally increases.
Now here I was confused of like how to get back up. So I actually leap onto his other arm to try to get back up, but it doesn't work very well for me.
Yeah, he's got a couple of bald patches that you can't quite climb past.
Yeah. So I think I like intentionally drop so that I can just climb back up on him.
Yeah, a tactical drop. You go, all right, well, now I'm out of luck. Yeah, and that's the other reason to go for the head first, because you can drop down, but it's a lot harder to jump back.
Right. And here I didn't realize how close to the edge of the arena I was. Now it's just playing the waiting game until he decides that he wants to take a swing at me again.
Yeah, he can be a bit of a prick with that swing. I've had a few runs where he's just wandered around the arena for a while, refusing to swing his sword.
And I just narrowly missed that. I do get quite a few misses, or narrow misses from him.
It's cinematic. Like, I really can't say it any better than that. Gaius is incredibly cinematic.
Yeah.
Every Colossus is. It's so well done for their direction. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that was I don't remember what I was trying to do, but I for some reason I jumped, and I actually jumped over because he like dipped his arm down and I jumped over the arm brace.
I mean, you did almost recover. Honestly.
Yeah.
I think you were trying to jump to get past the elbow pit again.
Yeah. And that is actually going to be my last fall, thankfully. And then I make my way up to his head. Yeah, this was not my crowning achievement of this game.
You can see a bit more here what I'm talking about with the patches of fur.
Yeah.
Where it's very clearly just fur textures stuck on.
Yeah.
Guys, which I think it works well, but it is a little bit lazy.
Yeah, I can understand that.
They're all the same basic shape, and they're all in sort of overlapping order.
I don't know. I thought it looked really good, for like his size and like almost like his build, because he's like just so skinny.
I would love to hear from someone who helped design this or helped program this, how they dealt with the sense of scale, especially on PS2. I have to think it was just like a render thing. So Wander is actually like only a couple of millimeters high in the engine, and the Colossi are just normal size. Mm-hmm. And everything else was scaled up or down.
And here I think I was like, okay, now where's his other sigil? And I'm like, okay, let's just try climbing his head.
Ooh, that's an unfortunate whipping.
Unfortunate. I think
got the stab off.
Yeah, I think that's just the premise of this entire run. Because I end up falling off of his head, and I almost fall down again.
Yeah. They really, with Gaius, they really upped it where there's no points where you can rest. It's just you have to grab a couple of seconds here and there. And sometimes you'll get lucky and he won't shake his back. But if he's shaking, don't have many options.
Yeah. I actually get pretty lucky right here. Nope, not right here. I am able to get my grip meter back up, though.
So now you're playing the, okay, let me just stay right in the center. So I tried to go back and do this on PS2 just to show off sort of what the environment was. After we saw a couple comments saying, oh, the spirit's gone out of this game. Unfortunately, it really doesn't emulate well, and I don't have a PS2 to record with.
Yeah, I don't have a PS2 anymore either.
But a couple of the things I noticed, the UI is completely different, and I forgot about that. I forgot what the UI looked like, the controls. They've done a lot to maintain the look of the environments and of the Colossi, but also sort of modernize the UI. The grip meter used to just be a circle, and the circle would just get bigger and bigger and bigger every time you got a lizard, instead of being that little line that grows on top of your health.
Oh, see, I never realized that. I thought it was like slowly getting bigger, like just it's gonna make like almost like a full circle just sticking out kind of thing. You know what I mean? I didn't realize that it was going over my health bar.
Yeah, it's like the MP bar from Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. And here I got an unlucky stab because my grip meter is going down. So I actually have to let go of him and replenish my grip on his back.
Almost ran out.
I mean, I've already fallen off 5 times. Well, it would have been one more, right?
What's one more fall between friends?
So my final time ended up being 12 minutes and 27 seconds with a total of 5 falls.
There's no punishment for falls, that's just a tracker of how often you lose your grip.
Yep. I just thought it would be kind of a fun implementation that we could do just as like a counter kind of thing.
Oh, definitely. Agreed.
Now we wait as I get impaled by black tentacles, and then into the intestines we go.
Yes. Into the teleportation intestines.
Now I kept your beginning portion right here because I thought this was hilarious. It was golden.
Yep, just a little short, and then you begin the swim of shame.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I only fell once. The first time I did it, I fell a lot. It was
and then
enjoyable.
I kept this in here as well because I was like, oh, is he gonna fall again? I would have laughed.
I really don't know what happened there, honestly. Especially because it looked like I was falling backwards into the ring, into the arena.
Right, that was, I think that was just like the physics engine.
Yeah, freaking out a little bit. Alright, so Gaius fight number 2. My run, and I've killed Gaius a number of times, so I know a couple of the strategies here, the sword fling, that I can't quite pull off, which we'll see for about 2 minutes, because Gaius is an asshole.
Yeah, he was not. You were not getting very lucky with his placement.
No, I start all the way over here thinking, okay, he's gonna keep walking, no problem. Let me just reveal those, and I get a trophy for it as well.
Yeah,
which I didn't know that was a trophy. And here, he just refuses to move. That's it. He plants himself there. I think, okay, gonna try to move him off a bit more.
I think that's like just the thing that eats the most time is just getting the bracer off.
Yeah, and if you can master the sword fling, then you're fine, because you can just get up no matter what.
Right. Yeah, I had heard about the sword fling before I had even started this fight, and I'm like, I'm not even gonna try that.
So at this point, he's not walking. I think, alright, I'll try it. And I don't quite get it there.
No, you do not. Now, your falls could be considered not really falls because they weren't as like mine. But I did count, I think, like 2 of them. One of them we're probably gonna argue about.
You counted 3 total in this initial.
Right.
In this initial stage. There's probably only going to be 2 in the final video. It is not a fall. I refuse to accept it.
We'll leave that up to the viewers. I think we should leave that one up to the viewers. Because what I counted as a fall was that you were on the Colossus, and then you weren't on the Colossus.
No, I was on the very tip of the sword trying to do the sword fling, and then I let go when I was an inch from the ground. Listen, we'll argue about it. I'll argue about it in the thread. We'll see what they say. It was not a fall.
See, that one I counted as a fall.
That one was a fall. I just stepped off the edge. That, yes.
And he still didn't want to move from that spot.
No. I tried shooting an arrow at him. Miss. Whiff completely. Alright, well, that's how you're gonna be. Man, the doormen tell me about 5 times.
Right?
In a very short amount of time.
This is the part that's up for debate.
Yes. This is, yes, coming up in a bit.
See, I was even debating it as well, like in my own head, but I was like, we'll put it there and we'll see what happens.
Well, so the trick to the sword fling is you sort of nest in that little nook, and as he brings his sword up, you crouch at just the right time and he flings you, basically. So I knew I needed to get to the edge of the sword, but I tried to crawl around the edge or grip around the edge, and it just would not let me. You could see every time he takes a step, I wobble.
Yeah.
And that's just eating up time, and I knew it was eating up time. So he eventually brings his sword down after trying to shake me off it, and I go, all right, well, this is getting me nowhere.
And that's what I counted as a fall, which is what we're debating about.
On the bright side, he did finally move from the center, so I can do this shuffle. So I can do this the proper way.
Right.
Ideally, I would have gotten the sword fling, but
and you shot him in the face for good measure.
I didn't think it was worth the extra minute or 2 of trying.
Right. And you ended up shooting him in the face for good measure.
Well, I wanted to get his attention, and also he's an asshole, so get shot in the face.
Like once you get on him, you actually have a pretty decent climb of him.
Well, the climb is, at least to me, the easiest part on any Colossus. It's getting onto the Colossus that's always the most challenging.
Right.
Because once you're up there, for the most part, especially if you're getting lizards, it's just, okay, let me just climb, just go.
See,
Go
ahead.
If you're not getting lizards, a lot of them are a lot more tough.
Right. You actually had almost a very similar to my sword grab later. Where he like flings you up a little bit, but then you grab on before you fall off.
Right, but I didn't do a flip in midair, so...
Yeah. I guess that did make mine kind of cooler.
It's a lot less impressive.
I just hope that for the next Colossus, it doesn't take as much time.
Oh, it almost certainly will.
Oh, great.
Yeah, the next Colossus I got stuck on when I was a kid.
Oh. I
had to stop playing and go back because I just got completely stuck on it.
You kind of got unlucky right there, because you're like the physics engine's like, nope, he's shaking.
Yep, he's shaking. Shake and bake.
I think that was a big issue that a lot of people had with the original games was the physics engine.
Well, I mean, I think that, just my initial guess of the sense of scale had to be sort of warped. I think that has a big effect on the physics engine.
Right.
If that theory holds water. And I can't imagine that they really did make a 50-meter high Colossus on the PlayStation 2. Maybe on the PS4 remaster, but certainly not on the PlayStation 2. It's just, I don't think it would have worked from a technical standpoint.
Right.
The jets of blood are phenomenal just for how long they go.
Right? See, I would have laughed if you actually, like, when he whipped you back like that you accidentally let go.
No such thing as accidentally letting go. You're falling with style.
Yeah. We're gonna go all Toy Story on this.
Yeah, that's right.
So
yeah, I love that I managed to get an arrow in the weak spot completely coincidentally.
Right. So what I learned from this one is that I need to get better, and two, before the Colossus fights, I should shine my sword on them.
Yeah, you definitely want to know where the weak spots are before you're up there. The last two wasn't so bad, but it does get more complicated. So final time of 6:46, 2 falls, 3 if you're Ark and you're a little bitch. I don't want to count that one. But the time attack time is 6 minutes for normal, so I'm a bit above that. I'm really disappointed with myself, and I really strongly feel that it's because Gaius is an asshole and just refused to move.
Yeah, I was nowhere close to the time attack time. Not even close. Like over double.
Over double, yeah. You got a little bit of ground to make up, but you're slowly, like I said, getting worse. Eventually you'll hit rock bottom, and from there there's nowhere to go but up. I'll know if you take 30 minutes in the next boss, that's rock bottom.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's not that long, because I don't really think that people want to sit here for half an hour watching me fail. So, depending on, because I haven't recorded the next one yet, I will probably, if it does get pretty bad, I'll probably have to edit it a little bit. Like, I'll still keep the time, like, at that time, what the time is at that part, as well as if I fall or anything like that. But I would want to cut it down just for time's sake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's probably something we'll have to do. The bosses at this point do get increasingly more complicated. This is really the end of the tutorial Colossi.
All right, yeah, and we already knew that it was going to get harder, and so I think the next one, I was just looking at my list. My next one is Phaedra.
Mm-hmm.
And after this, I actually have no idea what the Colossi look like. Because it was the first 3 that I actually knew what they look like to begin with.
Mm-hmm. So this will be a learning experience for you.
Yep. And as you can see, these are our final scores. Mine was 12 minutes and I think it was 46 seconds. And
27 seconds.
27. And yours was 6 minutes and 20 seconds? Or
46.
46. Okay, swapped. Okay. So that was it for...
slightly less than double my time against Gaius.
Yeah.
Slightly less than twice my fall. So you're about twice as bad as me at this point.
Yeah, I know. Alright, so that's going to do it for this episode of Shadow of the Colossus. Obviously, this one is longer, as it did take me mostly more time to down this one. So be sure that you stay tuned in for the next episode where we take on Phaedra. As always, my name is Ark.
And I'm RandomNinja.
And we will see you all in the next episode.